Okay, we have some interesting bit of information. It looks like there was a data mine done somewhat recently, but I did some searching online to figure out if this is correct or not. If you look, this says speculation spoiler. So since this is speculation, is data mining, it's never quite 100%, but normally they're pretty accurate with this kind of stuff. So let's take a look here. It says the Season 5 Helicory boss with a combat rating of 6175 entry requirement. As we know, you can go below these entry requirements. That's just sort of what the combat rating of the boss is actually going to be. It looks like other difficulties are stated to be 7.1 and 7.6 6,000 combat rating, meaning we can probably expect the upper echelon of combat rating in Hell 5 to be that 7,600 point, and that 6,100 combat rating point is going to be the right more the entry level, I would believe, there into Hell 5. Now, they state here there's a new legendary gem. Now, I did do a little bit of researching. If you look here, you can see a Frozen Heart data mine on this website as well as INF News. I just did a little bit of Googling for the Frozen Heart, and it says that they actually found the data originally in the Frozen Heart because the Frozen Heart was actually a gem from the beta. But if you go and look at new, they actually readjusted the Frozen Heart. So what it does is activate an ice shield that absorbs 360% of base damage and then triggers every 20 seconds. While you're shielded, your attacks have a chance to slow the attacker. So looks like it's some kind of slowing shield type of effect off the legendary gem there. That seems like something maybe okay in PvP. Shields typically for me aren't that interesting in PvE. Maybe someone will find a way to make it decent. I don't really think I'm too huge of a fan of that gem just from looking at it. This part is where we get interesting, okay? Silent Monastery new dungeon. They say it's a new dungeon coming out of Mount Zavan, and it says there is a new 6-piece set that evolves around the dash skills, okay? Now, this actual 6-piece set is supposed to increase your damage, your critical hit chance, as well as making somebody get feared after you use your dash skill. So if you're somebody that doesn't really use dashes, well, that's a bummer, but it looks like people who do use dashes, I'm kind of thinking the monk might really like this, to be honest with you. Maybe even the demon hunter. It depends upon what qualifies as a dash, I suppose. We'll find out. But this actually looks very interesting. They say they have a source. If you go and actually look at the source here, what is this? This is a YouTube video. It looks like from this guy. That's just kind of shows some information there. And he says, credit to JT's original video. So it looks like JT covered this data mine as well. And actually, his data mine was all the way back from September 6th. So it looks like this information has been in the game for a while, which makes sense because if you actually look at this website, this states here the 20th in Hong Kong time, it got adjusted, so they found some new information. But when I originally pulled this website up and took a look at it, this was posted as of the 7th. So they have actually found this information in the game for a little bit of time now. A couple things to mention here. One is that if they do actually go the way of a new set gear, if that is real, then I'm interested to see how that drops, because there's already certain items that drop with each dungeon. There's one hand, one belt, one of each ring, one of each of the slots. They don't have like 3 different hands in one place, and it would be more difficult to actually, man, there's a fly in my face today. What's going on here? Good Lord, get out of here. It would be really difficult if they start adding more sets into the same dungeons. I'm assuming this 6-piece set drops straight from that dungeon, so this might be the most new efficient set to farm in the game. If they actually make it where you just farm the one dungeon and you can get the complete set, that would actually be pretty awesome, to be honest. It could be really easy to get this full set, and having somebody do a fear after a dash means you could dash into the middle of somebody and then have that fear proc, and that would proc things like Chip of the Stone Flesh, etc. So I could see some use out of this. A couple other things I want to notice is that he mentions here the source also contains very detailed information about the upcoming warband features, as well as some video footage of the actual cast. So here, I'll put a link. I don't want to show his video. That's his video. So if you want to see it, I'll put a link to the other 2 people, JT, as well as the gentleman here who linked off to JT's video, and I'll put the credit where credit's due. Feel free to go watch those as well. But what I'm interested in here is the fact that they're actually adding new dungeons, because we were all kind of talking and worried about the warband features, like, hey, warband's not really like what we want to focus on, but we are actually getting a straight up new dungeon. So that is what I would consider actual new content in the game. We've been getting lots of updates, battle passes, stuff like that, but a new dungeon's actual content. So I'm actually kind of excited by that, and hopefully that dungeon just drops that 6-piece by itself, and all you gotta do is just farm one dungeon when it's boosted. It'd be nice and easy to get that set. If they actually add sets into the game that way in the future, it could actually be much easier. I would hate to see it where they jumble all the set pieces up and now there's 7 drops or something in each one of those dungeons. We'll have to see about that. But with that all being said, hit the like button, hit the bell for more notifications on the news as we get it. Love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.